It is the Riot Podcast. Welcome to the Thursday, June 22nd show. I'll tell you, I want to make you a winner today. I want you to feel like a winner. So check this out. Go to RadioU.com/win, or you can text the word win to 8772 RadioU. Why should you do that? Because if you do it, you have the chance to win an Igloo Cool Tunes boombox cooler.
Which is essentially a cooler speaker.
And not just a speaker that is cooler than other speakers. It is literally a speaker and a cooler all in one.
It's a good old 2-for-1.
It's like Nene told me, Nene from here at Radio U told me, it's like if a speaker and a cooler had a baby. This is what it would be.
And there's so many good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I think is that it just keeps your hands more free.
It does. It frees you up. It's one less thing to carry.
And another reason that I think it's great, it's a conversation starter. You take that thing to the pool, the beach, you take that with you, people are going to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Automatically, they're going to ask you about it.
I'll say one of the only drawbacks might be that because it will call so much attention to you and make it very clear you have snacks and drinks, in addition to great taste in music for all to hear, that people might come up to you and be like, "Hey, can you give me one of those Capri Suns you have?
Spare me one if you got an extra. Your cooler will be the cooler that everybody's staring at."
Yeah, but I mean that's a small price to pay being Capri Sun handout guy. If you can also be speaker and cooler all in one guy, I mean it really renders every single speaker and cooler that has ever been made to this point obsolete and inferior.
Oh, yeah, because you're getting 2-for-1.
How could they ever compete? Why would you have a speaker that isn't also a cooler? Why would you have a cooler that isn't also a speaker when you can have them both at the same time?
And you think about any time that you're using a cooler, it's because you're literally somewhere where you can't have food or drink or you don't have it. And anytime you're there...
Where a fridge wouldn't be accessible or appropriate.
And anytime you're at a place you have a cooler, you're walking a far distance. You're carrying lots of things. You're carrying chairs.
It's July
you're
4th
carrying
fireworks.
bags. Wherever you're going.
You're at the beach.
Yeah, you got your hands full. But if you have the boombox cooler, then that's one less thing you have to carry.
2 in 1.
It would have been speaker one hand, cooler the other. Now you've got both in one free hand.
Efficient is
so efficient.
Yeah. So here's what you do, because we want to help you out here. We're giving this to you for free. Yeah, I kind of want to buy one after hearing myself talk about it.
I kind of want to just take it for myself, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I believe we do have it here in the building, but we're not going to do that. If we are going to get one, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way with our hard-earned cash. But for you, you could win this amazing speaker boombox cooler combo by going to RadioU.com/win, or you can text the word win to 8772 RadioU. What's in the podcast today?
Choice champions.
That's all you need to know.
Worst type of guy to hang out with.
All you need to know. Make sure you text your vote to 8772 Radio U. We'd love to hear from you. And we will catch you tomorrow.
See you guys.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Got a fight brewing, and this might be a fight that's so good everyone wants to watch. You could put the pay-per-view on this through the roof. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg might get into fisticuffs.
Now we're talking.
A UFC-style cage match is brewing between the two of them. Basically, Elon Musk, of course, CEO of... is he still the CEO, the owner of Twitter?
He is.
He was tweeting out nonsense, kind of just trash-talking Mark Zuckerberg a little bit. Elon Musk has a lot of Twitter followers. And one of his followers tweeted back, "Better be careful. I heard Mark Zuckerberg, does jiu-jitsu now." And so Elon Musk responded, "I'm up for a cage match if he is, LOL." And Mark Zuckerberg tweeted out, "Send me location."
Now we're talking. Now this is the kind of thing that we've been waiting on. I'm tired of the TikTokers fighting. I want the Twitter and Instagram CEOs. This is way better.
This would be so much better, wouldn't it?
Like, we're tired of Jake Paul and Logan Paul fighting. Like, those guys are, like, jacked. They're good. They're good at fighting.
Yeah.
I want to see two guys that maybe in a past life would be considered kind of nerdish. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, people that are, like, widely, I mean, yet again, the Paul brothers are widely hated or loved.
Yeah.
These guys as well, widely hated or loved. And I would pay to see them go at each other, because not only would it be, I assume maybe a little bit, it could be embarrassing.
I think so.
But at the same time, I think this could be a good way to humble these guys. I mean, they have as much money as they could possibly want. At this point in their life, like, what else are you doing? You might as well fight somebody. Has Elon Musk ever been in a fight? If I had to guess, I'd say no.
Probably not. It's hard to picture Elon Musk. It's also hard to picture Mark Zuckerberg getting into a fight, even though he does, well documented, know jiu-jitsu now. Do you think that would serve him well against Elon Musk?
Would.
He's got to be, I don't know their sizes, but I imagine Mark Zuckerberg being fairly decently large compared to Elon Musk.
See, I'm looking now because Mark Zuckerberg has about 10 years on him. He's 39. Elon Musk, 51.
Oh, okay. So Mark Zuckerberg, big advantage already.
Huge. Okay, so
he's got to be in much better shape.
Mark Zuckerberg, 5'7".
Dang, why did I always think he was tall?
Elon Musk? This can't be right, can it? 6'1"?
No.
It's what it says. It's what it says. Elon Musk.
So he's going to have a wingspan advantage as well. Going to have a reach. Going to be able to get some good punches in.
Yeah, he's 6'1.5".
Yeah.
Where Mark Zuckerberg at 5'7", but at the same time, Mark's been doing jujitsu. And when you think about it, because in the beginning I was kind of laughing at him doing this.
Yeah.
But you know how much money he has? He probably has the best trainer in the world.
He does, yeah.
He makes millions of dollars. He has nothing to do all day. He's probably killing it at jiu-jitsu.
He's probably, he probably knows his way around a gym.
Like, it wouldn't be like he's hiring some random to do it.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably has like the best jiu-jitsu guy that's teaching him jiu-jitsu. So I'm wondering, what's Elon's fighting background? Is he more of a karate guy? Like, where are we at here? I need to know something. But 6'1", that's a huge advantage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Elon Musk definitely a big size advantage. That's not what I was expecting. Now, I think the last best question is, especially when you've got two guys that really aren't true fighters, which one between the two of them do you think more likely has like a monkey mode in them?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, who is going to have that weird fear in their eyes?
They could just go like a baboon on you.
I mean, if I'm leaning one here, Mark has 10 years on him, but for whatever reason, I feel like Elon may have a little bit extra in him.
You think so?
I think he might. But also that whole jiu-jitsu thing, it's carrying me a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that could help.
I'll tell you the only thing that would be bad about if they did actually wind up fighting and we all got to watch it is that one of them would have to win.
Yes.
It's Tiger
Because then we'd hear about that for a long time. Like, how long do we let the social media CEOs, like, how long do you get to brag about that,
yeah.
you know?
And then who do you fight next after that?
Exactly. Who do you follow that up with?
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Here's a guy who sucks. Guy who doesn't tip.
Yes.
We've all seen Reservoir Dogs. We know that, what is it, Mr. Pink that doesn't tip. That's not a good type of guy. And apparently there's a lot of that type of guy if you're real young. I've got a new survey here that shows that just 35% of Gen Z goes up to like 25 maybe.
It's me.
25 and under. Just 35% of Gen Zers tip every time they go out to eat at a sit-down restaurant. Can you believe that?
That's way low. Come on, sit-down restaurant?
2/3 of the young, college age and just a little above, 2/3 of us not tipping when we go out to Applebee's.
That's way too low.
Unbelievable.
See, because I understand, because what they're going to say is, we're in college, we don't have money.
Can't afford it.
But then I say this, though. Then you don't get to go out.
That's right.
If you can't tip, you can't go out. I'm sorry. You can't go out.
If you can't afford another 20% on top of
$5 extra.
Yeah. What are you ordering then?
Exactly.
And how down bad are you?
Like, there's no way sitting down in a restaurant. Has there ever been a time? I mean, I've gotten some bad service. And I'm someone who, yet again, if I'm going to like how it is now with where the tipping's gotten kind of crazy.
Yeah.
At some of these places that aren't restaurants. Like, I'm not someone who's like super like ready to give $20 to anybody. But at the same time, I've gotten some bad service. I don't know if there's ever been a time where I've sat down in a restaurant and have given no tip.
I don't believe I've ever done that.
I don't think I've ever done it. Even when I've gotten really bad service, I'm still like, whatever, like whoever's serving me, I'm like, even it might not be their fault. I try to give them an excuse.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if my
They're having
food
a
came
bad
out
day.
wrong, I'm like, maybe that's on the chef, whatever it is. It's not on the server. They're still doing their job. They were nice to me. Even if they were mean to me, I'm like, maybe they're having a bad day. I still give that tip to them. And so to not tip at all, no matter what, that's
Inexcusable.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Again, don't go out if you're going to do that.
It is crazy. It's 35% of Gen Z, and basically it goes up as you get older, all the way to baby boomers. 83% say they tip every single time they go to a sit-down restaurant.
See, that's still low, though.
That's still low, but I would have thought maybe it'd be higher, higher the amount of people that don't tip as you get older, because at some point you're just like, I don't care, and you're more likely to be upset with the service or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe you have a bad attitude, but now let me ask you this. Do you tip every single time you go out to either like a barber or some, like that kind of thing? Barber,
That's a good question.
hairdresser.
I tip every time I go to the barber. I take my haircut seriously, though.
Yeah.
And so I go like every 2 weeks, and I go to the same people over and over again.
You don't want them getting upset with you.
Yeah, exactly. And they always do a good job, too. And they're always like, they chat me up while I'm sitting there.
Uh-huh.
And so I feel like it's part of it. And at the barbershops, too, that's another place where the people that cut my hair don't own the barbershop. And so I know they're giving a cut back to whoever owns the place. And so I know that my tip goes directly to them. And I'm going to see them in 2 weeks, and they know my name. And so I give them a tip.
Yeah, I think that's the only two things I can think of that I tip every time.
Every time.
You got to tip
Barber every time, restaurant every time.
Yep, every single time. But apparently, there's a lot of people out there now, the young folks, all of us, 2/3 of us, not tipping.
Shame on you.
Yeah, that's
Shame.
upsetting. That is sad to hear. Maybe just because we get asked so much everywhere else, we just think it's okay to say no all the time.
No, it's not, though.
It's not. It's not. Not at Applebee's.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Do you have any code words that you use either with your significant other or maybe some friends that you guys know what they mean, and so you can use them out and about and communicate to each other secretly?
See, I feel like depending on the relationship, you can say so little if you're in the right atmosphere. Look them in the eyes and they know exactly what you're thinking.
Sometimes you don't even need to say it.
You can just look at them and
Yeah.
they'll know.
So what about you? You got any words
See, the one thing
you're
that's...
willing to divulge?
Yeah, I'll divulge one because you'll never know. Like, none of my friends would ever know. But me and my roommate, Andrew, who I would consider my closest friend, the only person that I'd probably be able to do this with, if we're at like a party or we're somewhere where we're in like a group atmosphere, we're real quick to dip, real quick to leave, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so our code word, that's all we have to say like we're ready to go, is if we just lock eye contact and just say, yep.
That's it?
That's all we need. Lock eye contact, a little head nod, yep. And he'll know because we can feel the vibe of the party. If it's like dying off, not that much fun, whatever it is, all I need to do is look at him and be like, yep. And he'll say, yep. And then we can just go ahead and say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, say your goodbye. You ever had that, you ever do that accidentally? Where you've just said yep naturally and...
this happened last
false
weekend.
alarm.
Last weekend, I thought he gave me the signal. We were out hanging out with friends. Yep. He looks at me and gives me like a little, not even the yep, he just gives me the head nod. And I'm like, okay, we're leaving. So I start saying goodbye to everybody. Because I'm like, we're leaving. I'm saying goodbye to everybody. And I come up to him like, you ready to roll? And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, we're having a good time. I was like, I was having a good time, but I thought you were ready to leave. He's like, I'm not. I was like, why'd you say goodbye to everybody? And what am I going to do, hang out here the rest of the night now? Like, how long are we staying? Because now I'm embarrassed.
Now you have to go.
Because I just gave hugs. Like, I gave hugs. It's not like I can just, like, come back and be like, oh, yeah, we're staying now.
That's worse than, like, you say goodbye and then you see somebody in the parking lot or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
This is worse. Goodbye, and then you stay for half an hour.
And then I'm just, like, lingering. Like, I'm like, still in on conversations. Like, didn't you just give me a hug and say, like, You're out of here.
Kind of feels like you just wanted attention for
sounds like
saying goodbye to
Did you just
everybody.
want a hug?
Yeah.
You want a hug?
But for me and my relationship, me and my wife, we have two code words I can give away. And ours aren't very covert because one, if we're ready to leave somewhere, the same thing as you, we'll say Gina. But if we just say Gina, then I guess if other people heard us saying that, it would be kind of, like why they just randomly say Gina. But it is kind of a thing where we're like, we'll get close together and be like, so Gina.
Gina, what does that even mean? Like, how did you come up with that?
I think that actually is something that goes back to, it's a code word she had with her mom, I believe, and then it just translated, it converted itself onto our relationship.
I need to steal that because that's pretty good. Gina. It sounds like it's time to leave. Like,
yeah.
Gina?
Yeah, it's the way you say it, though. Gina.
It is.
So
Gina?
Gina. And then the other one is if we're out and about and there's somebody that just looks wacky and it's like, you need to look at this person, pay attention.
I love this.
Watermelon.
Yeah. And then it's an immediate, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah. You do a whole 360 until you see, and you're going to see somebody outrageous.
What a great keyword.
And we use that a lot.
You need that keyword because when you're out and about, that's like half the fun.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a boyfriend or girlfriend and you're out at restaurants. That's like if you guys are going out together. At this point, like, what else are you talking about? The best part of going out together is being like, look what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Like, you're just people watching. You go out to eat together, you're people watching. And so you need that word. That's a good one.
Without pointing or anything. Watermelon.
I love
Feel
that.
free to use that.
I'm stealing both.
8772 RadioU. If you got a secret code word you use, we'll get to a few of yours next.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
The question is, what's your secret code word you use with your significant other or close friends that has a secret meaning? For Isaiah, you and your best friend will just say, yep, if
Head
it's time
nod.
to go. Uh-huh.
Yep, time to leave.
Me and my wife, we use Gina for that, and we use watermelon when there's somebody wild out in public, and you need to call attention to, like, hey, babe, you got to look at this. Watermelon.
I have another one too.
Okay.
This is one that goes back to when I was in high school, and this goes off of, and we should start using this here. This is such a good one, right? And so if you're having a conversation at school, or if you're like at work, and the boss comes around, and you want to like tidy it up, right?
Yeah.
UFO.
Oh, UFO.
UFO. Yeah, UFO. We used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, our football coach, when we were like at practice or whatever, we're talking about how bad practice stinks at that time, whatever it is. Coach starts walking up. One person's talking about it. The other person sees coach coming. UFO, you automatically know. Be quiet. Whatever you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Someone important is coming. Your mom's coming. Your dad's coming. Your boss is coming. Your grandma's coming. Whatever you're talking about that you don't want them to hear automatically ends UFO.
That's a good one. I have Seth here who has his code word he'll use with his friends. That means it's time to go. I have a watch.
I have a watch?
Yeah, now that'd be a wild one to bust out, though.
That would be.
If you're at a party and you're standing in a circle, everybody's chatting it up. Hey, I have a watch.
Hey, I've got this watch here.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, congratulations on all your success. What do you want?
Yeah. If it works for you, what if people start asking questions about the
exactly.
watch?
It's like, what's up with the watch, bud?
Yeah.
You trying to flex it or what's happening here?
What about Benny? This is good. This is through text. Benny says for him and his friends, if you text 911 to the group chat, then they know that you've got a call in 5 minutes, and somebody's got a call in 5 minutes, and then you can pretend you have an emergency.
Ooh, get out of a date.
To get out of a tough spot.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You text that in the group chat, then somebody's helping you out.
Yeah. And then Ellie here. Oh, this is from Seinfeld. Lemon tree means wrap it up. It's time to go.
It's time to leave.
Stop what you're doing and get out of here.
That's a good one too. Those are good ones. The thing is with these is there's always, if you have them, they're really useful. And if you can get them down with your group, then they can come in handy many a times.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that I need this.
Okay.
I guess I don't at this time, but when you have a girlfriend, you call your buddy on the phone, and she's like, put it on speaker. Let me hear what you guys are talking about. Sometimes your buddy, he's going to open up with a wild line off the rip.
He might be saying something crazy.
And you got to let him know that you're with your girlfriend.
You got to be like...
with your boyfriend, whatever it is.
Just...
you got to do something quick.
All right. For us, You want a Stromboli?
You want a
You
Stromboli?
say that means you're going on speaker.
And my girl's right next to me.
Yeah.
Say, oh, Hudson, you want that Stromboli?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Uh-huh. Actually, you know what? I'm good on the Stromboli now. That, it changes the whole conversation.
It tosses the whole thing through a little left curve. But you got to have that down, because sometimes if you don't, you can't be like, I'm with my girl.
Yeah.
I'm with my girlfriend, because then she's like, why do you have to say that?
Why do you need to disclose that?
Why do you need to say that? Would he say something different if you didn't say that? And that's an automatic. It's a fight right when you hang up the phone.
You got to be careful. You want a Stromboli, you're free to use that one as well. I think we're helping people out here. And I love inside jokes.
Oh, I love them.
I'd love to be a part of one day.
Oh, wouldn't that be so great, Michael Scott?
Yeah.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I got a new fashion tip for you. This could help you out. What you need to do to take your outfit to the next level is embrace wrong shoe theory. Have you seen this on TikTok going viral?
I have not seen it.
Here's what you do. Here's what wrong shoe theory is. It's the idea that you need to pair a pair of shoes with whatever outfit that look like they actually don't go together whatsoever. And actually that will take your outfit to the next level.
You're saying like if I was wearing like a suit and I tossed like some Vans on,
that could work.
it would look ridiculous.
Or picture this. I think this works much more for women because there's so much more variety. Like I feel like for guys, almost any shoe goes with almost any outfit. For women, like here was an example, like a super feminine floral skirt, but then you wear that with clunky masculine boots. And that's wrong shoe theory.
I don't like this.
You got some footage of it right here. See see what you think.
I'm looking at these photos.
Uh-huh.
The first one, like you said.
She's in a dress with like sneakers.
She's wearing New Balances.
Yeah.
Like the most like dad-esque New Balances you can imagine with a dress.
You think that works?
That doesn't work.
Second one works.
Second one does not work.
That looks fine. Whatever.
She's wearing a floral dress with combat boots.
No, I'm talking about the high heels with whatever the jacket thing she had on is.
Okay.
I don't know. This is it's gonna get you some attention.
You're gonna draw some attention.
You are gonna get some eyes are gonna be drawn towards you.
I think it just all depends on your style though. Because some girls can wear anything. If they're like fashionista, trendy, and you kind of expect it from them. Like there's some girls that will come out in wild outfits, but if they're always wearing wild outfits and they're always and they say they're fashionable and know a lot about fashion, then I just assume whatever they're wearing, like that must be right. Like they must be doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's something that you don't even know about yet, but they're on top of it.
So when I look at some of these here, I mean, I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan.
It really looks like wearing much more casual shoes generally with like still what seems to me to be more fancier outfits for these gals.
So it seems like this is an excuse to wear comfy shoes so they don't have to wear high heels.
But for us as guys, we don't need an excuse. We just wear comfy shoes all the time. Like
exactly.
What are your going out shoes? They're not high heels.
No, my going out shoes are like my white Vans. That's what I wear to go out.
Yeah, comfy.
And they're comfy. I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah.
They're my everyday shoe into my night shoe. And 90% of the time, depending on where you're going out or wherever you're at, people don't look at your feet.
Yeah.
They don't even notice.
If it's dark.
Even your pants, if it's dark, depending on where you are, the majority of times they don't even see them.
Yeah, anything
I wear the dirtiest of white Vans anywhere. And I feel bad about when I leave the house. Once I get to wherever I'm going, it's dark, or I take them off when I walk in the door. Whatever it is, people don't even notice.
Yeah, unless you're at like somebody's house. But then you might just take your shoes off anyways. They might be a no-shoes household.
You might just slip out the socks.
Yeah, that's right. That's a big decision.
Slip out the open toe.
Do you go socks or do you not go socks?
You better go socks if you're going to somebody's house. If you slip out the open toe in my house, you better keep them shoes on.
I mean, but other than that, if you're just out and about, as long as you have it put together, belly button up, I think you're good.
Yeah, you make sure your hair looks good. You got your makeup right, whatever. You're wearing stylish from belly button up. You're looking good. No one's worried about your pants or your shoes. Pants, maybe. They're not getting to shoes.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It is time for what I would say, for me, I think this is my favorite segment that we do every week. Isaiah, do you think it's yours as well?
I love some Choice Champions.
Choice Champions. Isaiah and I take turns picking different we pick teams from a different subject. In this case, this week, the subject is worst types of guy to hang out with.
The last guy you want to be with at a party, left alone with, hang out with.
Left alone with.
But at the same time, you find yourself with them more than you think you should.
You can't avoid them. So we're going to do our draft here real quick. We're each going to take 3 picks, snake draft style. Isaiah gets the first pick because I had the first pick last week. And then you need to text us at 8772 RadioU to decide who has the better, or in this case, who came up with the worst team of guys. All right, Isaiah, kick it off.
Going up at number 1 overall, it'd be a shame if I didn't take know-it-all guy.
Know-it-all guy.
I mean, that is the most widely hated guy. The guy that when you go to a party, when you're hanging out with your friends, even like a family member, you say something and they correct you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Some people would call him well, actually guy.
Oh, well, actually.
Yeah.
Well, actually, sir. It's actually this.
Pluto's not a planet.
Know-it-all guy is that has to be the number 1 overall pick every time. Nobody wants to be know-it-all guy. If you're a smart guy, that's good, but just don't correct me, please. Please don't correct me.
Yeah, it's a solid number 1 pick. I think, though, my pick tops that for sure, and that is the anti-everything guy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Just anything normal you and your buddies are having a conversation about, and he swoops in with, actually, I don't watch basketball. Think they're overpaid.
I hate Netflix.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I would never,
I'd never pay for it.
If I can't buy it on DVD, I don't watch it.
Anti-everything guy's the worst, too.
That's tough because he's just a downer.
And like any trend that's going on, TikTok, I would never download. Waste so much of my time on that thing, I would never have it.
Yeah, I only read books.
Anti-everything guy's good.
That's a tough one. And here, number 2, made a strong case for being my number 1 pick, and that is too political guy.
Ooh, we all know a too political guy.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is not a partisan Republican, Democrat. I don't care because I don't want to talk about it. I mean, you have your beliefs, I have mine. I have strong beliefs. I follow politics a lot, but I don't just go bringing them up. I don't just go, I wouldn't go. You go to McDonald's, don't you know who their CEO voted for?
Oh,
no,
ridiculous.
I don't want to know. Why do you have to bring that up here?
Even if you're on my side, even if I agree with everything you're saying and we're in a group setting, I don't want to talk about it. You could be spitting straight facts that I agree with everything, and I don't want to have that conversation around people.
Yeah, we're trying to have a good time.
I'm trying to hang out, dude.
Here's the thing with too political guy. Too political guy is never doing it in a fun way.
No.
It's never like, I love going to that store. Love Dick's Sporting Goods.
It's always negative.
Yeah, they really support whatever. No, it's always a negative thing.
My next one, lies too much guy.
Oh.
And it's not even like
brutal.
The worst thing about lies too much guy is he's in your friend group. You know him. Everybody knows he lies too much. And so whenever he says something that you know is like a lie, then you just make eye contact with everybody else and you're like, come on, man. Like, we know.
Yeah.
You don't have to front for us. You don't have to be like, you don't have to act like you're somebody you're not. We're already your friend and you're lying to us. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you putting us in this situation? No one's going to call him out either because he's been doing it for years and he's one of your close friends. But at the same time, you're just like, brother, why? Why even say it? We know it's a lie. You've been doing this for so long. Lies too much guy. Not the worst guy, but he's one of those guys in the friend group that you're always going to get an eye roll at least once or twice a night.
Yeah. I actually think lies too much guy can be a little bit of fun.
Oh, you like lies too much guy?
I wouldn't want to be lie too much guy, but he adds a little spice to things sometimes.
You look at the rest of the group and you're like, really, man?
Yeah.
It's like it gets to give you get a good chuckle out of lies too much guy, but at the same time, you're like, what are you doing right now?
All right, next pick. Your last one.
I've got the embarrasser. Now, this is one that I hate. I have a friend like this. No matter where you are, he tries to embarrass you. I could be at the pool and he'll be screaming, my buddy wants to do a cannonball, and I don't want to do a cannonball. It could be anything. We could be talking to girls, make up stories about you to make you look like a total goof. If you say something to him that you wanted to keep between the two of you at a party, and then he's going to scream it out to the room. The embarrasser is one of the hardest people to be around. Yet again, you love them because they're fun, but they're going to make you look like a total goof, and they don't care.
Tough to handle. My last pick, I'm going with one-up story guy.
We love a good one-up.
You tell a story, and he's just got to top it.
Every time.
Steal your thunder. All right, let's round this up real quick. You have know-it-all guy, lies too much guy, and then the embarrasser.
Yes.
I have anti-everything guy, too political guy, and the one-up story guy. whose team would you rather leave and never hang out with again?
Which one would you rather avoid?
Which one is worse? 8772 Radio U.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Choice Champions Worst Type of Guy Draft. Isaiah, your team is...
Know-it-all guy.
She sucks.
Lies too much guy.
Sucks.
And your friend that's always on a mission to embarrass you.
That is the worst, isn't it?
Oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst, but it's not as bad as my team, which is anti-everything guy. And some might accuse me of being that from time to time. But you know what I do? I rein it in. We all have things we hate, but you don't have to let everyone know about it all the time.
When someone else, the worst for anti-everything guy is when somebody else is talking about how much they love something.
Uh-huh.
And then anti-everything guy comes in and goes, you like that?
Yeah.
You really like
that
Netflix?
restaurant?
I would never.
Yeah.
Been there one time.
Not
Overpriced.
Again. Not again.
I'd never head back.
Anti-everything guy. Too political guy. It's very obvious who that
We need
is.
to say more.
And also, I have the one-up your story guy. Hey, I saw a bear from 20 feet away and we were whitewater rafting. Oh, you did? I went whitewater rafting and got my arm ripped off by a bear.
You wouldn't believe.
Similar to lies too much guy.
It is.
But it's not obvious that his stories are lies, but he just always has, somehow he always has a better story than you every single time. And he can't just let you have this one.
So we have a couple texts in.
Uh-huh.
D said, can I go with Hudson's team? The guys have no redeeming qualities. She said, at least the guys on Isaiah's team could be fun to hang out with. Hudson's team, absolutely not.
That's what I feel. I mean, two of your guys are pretty bad. No, you know what? Embarrasser and lies too much, they can add some fun.
They could be a part of your crew, and you might not hate them.
Yeah.
Like, they could be
They're
a part
still the worst.
There's going to be some times, I'll tell you this much, there's going to be some times when the embarrasser, it's one of the worst ones.
Uh-huh.
Because the apex of the embarrasser could be worse, because then they're publicly embarrassing you. In front of women, in front of random people you don't know, at a restaurant. Like, that's one of the
real
ones
bad
where
first impressions
a lot of the
come
other
from
ones,
the embarrasser.
Oh, yeah, a lot of the other ones, it's like, they're just annoying for you.
Yeah.
The embarrasser can be annoying for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Laura said, see, you wouldn't want to be to Hudson's team.
Yeah, my team sucks. It's the worst.
Abby said, gotta be Isaiah strictly for know-it-all guy.
Yeah, he is tough. He's tough.
It's a number one pick. The know-it-all guy's hard.
I think our top three picks, there's just no way to have a conversation with him.
No, you can't.
You just can't have a good time if somebody's going to, actually you, or, I mean, that's really what they're doing, whether they're doing it for political things, for know-it-all reasons, or just for being the negative Ned of the group. They all suck. I think, for some of these two, I don't think we all have some of each of them in us, but I think we have a few shades of that. Again, I think anti-everything guy, I can be anti-everything guy from time to time, but you got to rein it in. You got to know, you got to be self-aware is what you got to be.
And everyone can be know-it-all guy from time to time.
Yeah.
But you just choose
the toughest
not to.
one. I think that's the toughest one for me is not be know-it-all guy.
See, I think I'm good about people will say things that are wrong. Hudson does this all the time. People will say things that are wrong, and I'll just let them think that they're right.
Sometimes that can be, that's one of the best traits in a guy. And is letting people say wrong things and not getting upset about it and not calling them out.
And the worst thing, too, is if you ever try to tell know-it-all guy that he's wrong, there's no
you're
way.
In for it.
I mean, he's gonna argue until you think he's right.
Yeah.
He'll convince you of something that you know is wrong. He'll convince you it's right.
Yeah, he will.
No matter what.
I, once again, as the host, have to declare myself the winner, although I think I did get more votes this time.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Got some new Krispy Kreme donuts for you that went live and nationwide yesterday. You want to hear what they've got?
Let's hear the new options.
For the summertime, they're feeling real patriotic down at the old Krispy Kreme because they've put out what they call their new Stars and Stripes collection. And you can get this as a dozen that'll be mixed up of these different 3 new donuts for the 4th of July holiday that Krispy Kreme has got rolled out. Okay, number 1, the Red Velvet Sparkler Donut. a red velvet cake donut topped with cream cheese icing and stars and pearls sprinkle blend.
I want to love this one because I love red velvet,
Yeah.
but I'm not a huge cake donut guy.
Uh-huh.
So I think that for this one, it's going to be like the cream cheese icing, good touch. I think it'll probably end up being like a 7 out of 10.
It sounds tasty, but it's red velvet in the summertime?
Yeah.
Isn't that more of a wintry thing?
The flavors too, it is a winter thing. The flavors too, like they're hitting it spot on. Love red velvet, cream cheese icing. The cake donut though with the red velvet's throwing me. I think it's going to be like a 7.
It sounds heavy. How about the new Freedom Flag donut? When I was growing up, it was called a French flag donut. It was an original glazed donut dipped in red icing and decorated like an American flag with blue and white sparkle blend and white icing stripes. It sounds, it's a pretty standard donut. Just
8.5. You're not going wrong with this.
Yeah, it's just going to taste good, but it's not new or special besides the design.
It's going to be that typical Krispy Kreme glazed donut. Throw icing on and some sprinkles. You're not missing with that.
How can you be upset? And then here's the new one that's a real wild card. The new exciting option is their all-American apple pie donut. An unglazed shell filled with apple cinnamon filling, dipped in caramel icing, and a graham cracker crumb, finished with a drizzle of white icing.
Now
we're talking.
This is American. I mean, can you get more with the apple pie? Oh, this sounds fantastic. I'm a big apple pie filling donut guy.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite donuts, probably like a top 2 donut for me. And so then you toss the graham cracker crumb on top. This is looking to be one of the more hyped up donuts.
Yeah.
The Krispy Kreme has put out in a while. Like, that's one that I'm like, I have to try that. There's not a lot of times when Krispy Kreme puts out a donut, especially a seasonal donut, that I'm like, I need to try that. That one there with a little apple pie filling, that's speaking my language.
Yes.
Automatic, I want to try that.
Sign me up. So those started being available at Krispy Kreme yesterday. And, of course, since they're 4th of July, they're going to be, American-style donuts. They're going to be probably around for another couple weeks if you want to go ahead and try those. I'm definitely intrigued. The apple pie one is the one that won me over. If it was just the other two, I'd be like, whatever. But the apple pie donuts, come on.
It's a must-have, a must-try, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. So we'll work on getting those on a future Riot food fight.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Isaiah and I aren't women. There's a lot of things we don't understand about women. For example, pregnancy. How does it happen?
I can't be too sure.
Yeah, haven't figured that one out yet.
One of the many wonders of the world.
It is. I have here a survey on pregnancy among women. One thing I do know is that you're often, although not always, you get cravings when you're pregnant.
I have heard that.
Apparently, 90% of women that get pregnant experience a craving at least at some point during the pregnancy.
And I feel as if you're a woman who's pregnant, you might as well say that you have cravings either way.
Because then
it's not a choice.
I guess then somebody has to go get it for you,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Somebody's got to do it.
I mean, if you're going to be going through all that, you might as well be like, you know what, babe? I want Arby's right now.
Yeah.
And then he has no other choice but to go get you that. And then you have an excuse to eat whatever the heck you want.
That's a great point.
Because it's not a choice. It's a craving.
That is a good point.
It's not like I want this. I have to have it.
Now, if you're craving Arby's, that's one thing. But I have a list here of some of the wild cravings that pregnant women have experienced recently. For one, pickles and cheese. Kind of standard.
Seems odd, like an odd combination, but...
I mean, you do it on a cheeseburger, though.
I guess so.
But just having those two things individually is a little strange.
A little odd.
How about sardines? It's odd on its own. Plus ketchup.
See, now you had me at sardines. That's just weird in general.
Yeah.
To crave a sardine. Isn't that salty? It's real salty, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So that makes sense. I guess you can crave salty things.
And you know what? I like putting ketchup on my fried fish. I know sardines aren't fried typically, but I can see it.
It's a weird one. Like, my wife was like, sardines and ketchup, go get it. I'd be like, I really don't want to watch you eat that. I don't know if I can do this.
Can I be in the other room? This is oddly specific. This is how you know that it's out of your control when you're pregnant and you have a craving. Peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich, Makes sense.
Sounds good.
But with 5 layers of bread.
5 layers of bread.
What is that? Like a quintuple decker?
I mean, you're going through a loaf.
How can you fit that in your mouth? How can you fit that in your mouth?
5 layers of bread on each side of it? Like 10, you're talking about 10 pieces of bread. Or are we talking 5 total? Because that's a lot of bread.
It says with 5 bread layers. So that'd be 5 pieces of bread.
3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Marshmallow peanut butter in the middle. I mean, you might as well just eat the bread. That's aggressive.
Yeah, that is a lot. But you know what? When you're pregnant, you don't get to decide. You don't get to decide what nature says you need. If you've got a good pregnancy craving that you have heard about, 8772 RadioU. I actually have some more here we can go through in a minute. But I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. I don't understand. Because here's what I don't understand is how can you have a craving for something you've never had?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the science that doesn't add
make
up in my.
sense.
It's clearly a thing. I just don't understand it.
Like 5 layers of bread. Can you imagine starting to make that sandwich and your gal being like, another piece?
Yeah, just keep.
And you're like, I have 4 pieces of bread on this thing.
Say when.
You're saying you want me to put another piece on here? 5? And then she's like, yep, that's what I want.
8772 RadioU, the craziest pregnancy craving that you or your significant others experienced.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
A lot of people texting in. I've got a list here from people texting in. Tell me, just stop me when it gets too weird for you, okay?
Okay.
Dion texted in that his wife would crave Egg McMuffins. Standard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
that could have been something she liked before.
Maybe. How about Chelsea, who says she had a thing for fizzy rainbow belts?
Fizzy rainbow belts?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's the candy that they're like long strings of like gummy candy. Mm-hmm. They're colorful.
I know what those are.
Yeah.
I'm familiar now. Odd. Not super weird.
Yeah.
But an odd thing to crave. Candy's a weird thing to crave.
All right, now I feel like we're getting weirder. Brittany says jalapenos on everything. And when she says everything, she means everything.
Just the spiciness. I can see that being a normal craving.
You know what?
Some
people do that when they're not pregnant.
Yeah.
Just normally.
I feel like that's something that makes sense. You just want spicy on everything.
They put like jalapenos in beer now.
I know, it's crazy.
So that feels not too out of the realm of normality. Brad says his mom craved chocolate chip cookies dipped in fruit punch.
That's weird.
And
I like chocolate chip cookies and I like fruit punch, but together that's an odd mixture.
Apparently, it specifically had to be Hawaiian punch, not just any fruit punch.
If you're going to do one, you might as well go Hawaiian punch.
I guess you might as well.
Yeah.
You might as well. Getting a little weirder. Gwen says anything pickled when she was pregnant.
Yeah, and these cravings, they make sense. Like when she says that, it makes sense.
And then this is the crazy one. Although I looked this up, apparently this is fairly actually normal. Tony said his girl craved chalk.
You're saying
when she
what
was
now?
pregnant. She was pregnant, craved chalk.
Chalk?
Yeah, and apparently that's actually a common pregnancy craving is craving chalk. Yet again, it comes back to me. How can you crave something that I would hope you've never eaten before? How does your mind do that to you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, why would you ever want to eat that? That'd make no sense to me.
Pregnant or otherwise. Why would you ever want to taste chalk?
Where you're just like, I need to eat it.
You know what, though? Maybe it's like a looks thing, because some chalk looks like it could taste good.
Yeah, but it's not a food.
But you just know it's not a food.
It's not a food, so why would you want to eat that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I've never been pregnant. I'll say that.
Yeah, we had Ryan text in. He said, my mom said she craved fruit when she was pregnant with me. Brittany says, when I was pregnant, I wanted everything dairy all the time. And then we also had Chase say my wife craved root beer. Not a normal thing, but the strong feelings about whether or not she got it was crazy.
That's the other thing that I don't understand is just like, it's not just I want root beer. It's I need root beer and I need it now.
You better go get it.
Yeah.
Sounds like Chase had his hands full.
Yeah.
He was on the run.
I mean, better root beer than chalk.
That's true.
How do you satisfy a craving for chalk?
You're like, you want me to go buy you that?
Yeah.
And you want me to sit in here while I watch you eat it?
Are you going to chow down on chalk?
You're going to make me watch that?
That's not going to be good for our baby. I can't imagine.
No chance. Eating chalk? No way.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.